The reality was that I was being retire fired, and it was hard. It was really hard.
I am here with my friend Denny Post. She is a former executive at companies like KFC. I got to read it because it's a long list. Burger King, Starbucks, and T-Mobile. That's where I met her. She also most recently served as a CEO of Red Robin. She's a mom, a wife, and also a current board member at Bluestone Lane, Travel and Leisure, Libby Glass, and Vital Farms, and generally just an overall inspiring woman. Denny, thank you for doing this with me right now.
Oh, I love doing it, Brent. Happy to help.
Amidst all the success, has there ever been a time in your life or a period where things weren't necessarily okay? And if you're willing to, I'd love for you to share that experience.
Well, there have been many times in my life, Brent, when life is not a straight line up, right? You plateau, you have setbacks, you keep moving. You mentioned Red Robin, which is, we had the chance to work together on some great stuff for Do Be Nice there. I was CEO of that company. We'd had a very successful 7.5 years, and we started to struggle. We had some business setbacks that just weren't good. We're a publicly traded company. We, are responsible to our shareholders to deliver on our commitments. And the board decided that they were going to retire me and move forward with somebody else. And I will tell you, it's pretty high profile. It's a blow. Everyone knew, I don't care if you use the language retirement, that the reality was that I was being retire fired. And it was hard. It was really hard. As I look back at it, the low lasted a fairly brief time, and that's because I've developed some pretty good coping and resilience techniques over years.
What did it take for you to be okay again?
Well, the first thing I would say is whenever something like that has happened to me, you have to get past the emotion of it and look at it as factually and as straightforwardly as you can.
Right.
And facing the facts, it's what was the reality? The reality is that the business was not being successful, that I had made some choices that had created some setbacks. What is my role and responsibility? And that's facing the facts. If you can face the facts, everything else is story. Everything else you paint around it, is your interpretation of them. But the facts are the facts. And the quicker you can get to that very objective place, the better. The second is you got to stay strong and you got to stay healthy. And that means a lot of things. For me, I've been sober for 32 years. I made that choice because for me, alcohol was getting in my way, and it was a lifelong problem, and it was an issue in my family. The third is to adopt a growth mindset, and I believe in this so much because a growth mindset says, okay, that didn't work, but it doesn't mean that I can't do something else that does. Right? I didn't want to be part of what I call the resistance, which is always pushing back, wanting it to be the way it was. I'm an innovator. I belong in the revolution. And so everything I've done in the last 2.5 years has been about aligning with companies that are looking forward and doing exciting things. And it's giving me youth, and it's giving me a chance to really contribute.
What did you learn from that setback in life?
Well, I learned some of the critical things that I could have done to communicate more clearly. That when things started getting tough, I tended to pull back and get insular. And what I should have been doing was reaching out and sharing what was going on and bringing, in my case, my board of directors along with me. And I can share that now on the boards that I'm out with. I can talk to the CEOs that I work with and say, if things are tough, be open about it, be transparent, share what's going on. And you'll find that there's more support.
I've got one final question for you. I have 2 daughters, a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old. If you were to have 2 young daughters right now, what's some advice that you would give them?
Number one, anything is possible. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do anything. If you choose to, the possibility is there. Secondly, to surround yourself with positive people and friends and supporters and champions, and be that for others. I think that's the biggest thing for women. Is it's so critical that we support each other and we seek out male allies. So look for champions in your life. Don't look for critics.
All right. Thanks, Denny.